that they have given them the custody of their children, and they're raising their children to come out right. So it's just, if you have God inside of you, just don't let any problems frustrate you so much that you started screaming and cussing at the children, that's going to damage that child. And then they'll get out there and go the wrong way where they shouldn't be going, trying to get that affection.
So that means they got the opposite effect of what they were looking for.
And so this is what it is. You have to, and whenever they do something wrong, you don't have to whip them, but there's a way to punish them. See what I'm saying? And after you whip them, when they done something, sit down and talk to them about it.
Okay.
You sit down and talk to the children, and you know, then make them then have prayer. Now that's where I brought mine up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So while you're crying, you crying too. I'm sorry, it's gonna hurt me more. It's gonna hurt you.
Yeah, I cried a many days when I disciplined my children, but I knew that was the way I came up, and I trained them the way, you know,
and
that I was
both
raised.
Sons, and they become fine gentlemen, you know, men, husbands, and also, you know, you have grandchildren out of this, you know.
But Mother Lloyd, when we talk about, I know I said something earlier, that it seems like that children are having children. And it's like in the Bible, something about the blind leading the blind. If they don't know, if the parents that had the children don't know, then they cannot
It's a snowball effect.
It's a snowball effect. So how can help be generated toward them so they can raise a child that's not going to prison? And
Now let me tell you something. The television is damaging the children.
Television?
The television.
The television and the telephone?
Because they're doing everything now, things that we never seen. We're seeing it now.
And internet, don't do that.
And the children, if you don't talk to them and tell them what they're supposed, I started talking to my children when they were about 10 years old about the things, facts of life, so they would know the difference of, you know, of people approaching them. And so this is what I'm saying. When they get in that state of mind, changing over to womanhood or manhood, they're going to get sort of, you know,
hormones
because all this is coming to change. But you have to sit down and talk to them. When they can communicate, they're much better off because they're friends out there in the street. They might not be in a home like you raise your children, right? They're going to be wild. They're wild now. But prayer, I suggest anybody, if you get up for them children and go out of their house, you should have prayer. And just while I'm on that subject, they talking about one demon woman walked up and changed prayer at school. That was the devil's. And then they done took it out of the churches. Mostly, when we were coming up, the first thing that we did when we come to church, the choir would march in, and everybody would do the Lord's Prayer. And it's power in the Lord's Prayer.
It sure is.
So they take it. They don't do it in the church.
And I didn't even notice that.
I didn't notice that. You're right.
In a lot of churches, they really don't. I think in some of the Baptist churches, they still do. But I think for most of the churches, not even down here, I've seen a church that I'll walk into morning service in Chicago, where I'm from. That was one of the highlights that woke everybody up. Did the devotion, then the Lord's Prayer. No, they march in, the choir march in, then the Lord's Prayer was chanted.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, so you are right. I don't see that in the churches.
And that is power in the Lord's Prayer. See, when you get ready to pray, you don't tell him to go nowhere. God is everywhere at the same time.
Amen.
And then instead of, sometimes they just get confused and they want blessings. But see, it's not about, be thankful. Thanking him brings you more blessings.
And let me say this, Mother, you just brought up another good point. They're always looking for something. This generation of children, now they want the Air Force Ones, the Nike. They want, you know, these people can't even eat after spending all this money for these $100 tennis shoes and all these name brands, this and name brand that. We went to the thrift store.
Well, honey,
and we're proud
you hit the note then. Well, let me tell you something. If you got a Volkswagen pocketbook and a Cadillac mine,
all right,
and that causes problems, then they have financial problems because they wasn't trained. They see these things. It's not about how much you pay for something. Who cares about how much you pay for something? But when my children come up, I bought them the best type of shoes. Child's Target shop. That was one of the major things.
That's one thing Mama always told us.
Because if you don't put no good shoes on your children's feet, and these flip-flop things, it ain't gonna, by the time they get my age, and I ain't tell you how old I am. By the time they get up and coming in the thing, them legs gonna be weakened.
Okay.
And so you have to take care of those children.
Okay.
When they coming up, they made me. They used to bathe the children's legs in the dishwater. When I'd go to my grandmama's house, she said that would make them strong.
And so we talk about those days, and I like talking about that, the days of old. I love hearing the elderly people talk about where they came from, and I sit back and I go like, what?
But see, this generation don't know nothing about the outhouse.
Yeah.
And windows with no screens on them, and everybody living in drinking out of water fountain. I mean, a water bucket.
Water buckets, yeah.
But
Even baby, I heard stories of people taking baths, you know, y'all shared water.
Oh, yeah, they had them old tin tubs.
Like,
I came up that way.
And what we are today, how people are spoiled with the finest things in life, and we take it for granted, and we sit back and hear these stories. And you all appreciate it. Didn't even know you were poor.
But I'm going to tell you something. The best thing to do is just be wise. And if somebody else is organized, they can tell you. And if you listen to that wisdom, but he doesn't listen to wisdom as a fool, he's going to always be doing problems, never satisfied.
That's right.
And that's the way the children, will get. Ain't no point you think I pay $100 for a pair of tennis shoes?
No way.
My kids don't wear no $100 tennis shoes.
And not to even mention what people are paying for cars nowadays. They pay more for a car than for a place they can actually live in and have an investment.
But like mother-in-law said, the TV, the television, and then the mindset of the parents, because, like she said, and that's why the project also has gotten a bad, as we said, rap.
Let me interrupt you. I lived in Preston Taylor Homes for 14 years.
Okay.
And I moved in there after me and my husband, And I raised my children out there in Preston Taylor. It's nothing wrong with the projects.
No, that's right.
That was better than we had been living.
Absolutely.
But what it is, they destroy everything God blesses them with.
Right.
Just like some of them get on the Section 8 housing, moved in brand new houses,
and tear 'em up.
ain't gonna halfway work,
Yeah.
And they be gluing on fingernails and all this kind of stuff.
Okay.
Now there's a child, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mama's dressed up in what you say. Mama be dressed up in a $100-something blouse, and the children they take them to the dollar store. But what I'm saying is, we need to get a grip. And in the church house, they just walking in there any kind of way. You shouldn't buy your children no dropping down breeches and skirts right up there.
Oh, yeah.
You shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
That's not good dress code for a Christian. I say Christian woman that's having a problem with children. You should dress like a Christian woman, act like one, and dress your children like that.
That's right.
See, because they not.
Because you can't be double standard. Get these double standards.
They won't be getting no jobs. They won't be getting no jobs because you're supposed to have a dress code in the church house.
And when you say that, I thought about the story with my son. This was his first year, really wanted to go out there and work and everything. He's 15, and he had gone over to Kroger's, but by the time he went there, they had already hired their limit of 15. And he went in, I made him dress with a tie, he had his shirt and tie on and dress slacks and everything. And he asked me, he said, come go in with me. I'm like, I am not going there with you. You flip with me an hour earlier, but come on, Mom, come go with me. So anyway, I said, no,
he needed to go in there by himself.
He went in by himself, and I waited for it. I looked up, and it was an hour. I waited. So when he came back out, he said, me and the lady, we talked, and she really was impressed with me. She told me, she said, I really wish I can hire you now because I know you come from a good family, and because you're very knowledgeable, you're very mannerable, you're saying yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, and all that. So he's been taught when he goes out into the public, although he acts a fool with me sometimes, but he knows how to act when he goes in the public, so that lets me know that there's something I'm doing right. So anyway, that's a great thing when you're training your children, so when they are going out there, he has a desire to want to work.
Let me tell you
and
something.
I'm not going to take that away
As
from him.
long as you're a mother, We brought these children in this world. And I don't care how old they get.
Okay.
Because we was here before they got here.
Okay.
You always supposed to be able to say something to them. Because
Yes,
if they
definitely.
disrespect